To Mr. Fubesi, I would like to give him a chance. You spoke about primary sound. Now, this competition is for the kids. It's about the kids, and most of them they are only learning to sing now, especially when we talk about the solos. So, when you talk about primary sound, Mr. Qave, for someone who doesn't know, roughly what does it mean?
Basically, I would describe it as simply the initial stages basically of the voice. So umntu wonke uqala on a uqala we all have our natural voice that of course eventually for males most of the time breaks, and then we have a different completely a different voice. So I would say the yeah, when we say primary voice is the initial stage of the development of a voice basically.
Great stuff, great stuff.
Just to add, sorry to cut you, Mr. Cutu, just to add to what Mr. Qave is saying, and I completely agree. You know, when it is a very broad subject, the primary sound, because singing is an extension of speaking range. So we always encourage kids to sing from where they speak.
Yes.
By doing so, they will achieve what we've just mentioned, the primary sound. So whatever you do when you speak, you exaggerate when you sing.
Okay.
For example, if you've noticed when I speak, I speak on the vowels.
Yes.
So I have to exaggerate that when I sing. And if you've noticed before I speak, I breathe. Even if it's slightly, I do breathe. So I have to exaggerate that when I sing. So that's what we mean by primary sound. You do everything naturally
Yes.
as you can.
Lovely. This is beautiful. Mr. Qave, we know that there is a concert version when you perform. You get a concert version, and sometimes you stage an opera where there are props and all those things. Now, it difference iba phi injani when you perform in a setup like this. What are the do's and don'ts?
Actually, on this one, I see it more as a concert version because, of course, you have a singer standing in front of an orchestra, and of course, they need to still convince in what they are trying to do. As much as it is an opera, I find it a little bit more limited. You cannot do everything as you would if you were on a costume and and had props and everything. So this kind of in this competition, this kind of a setting is a setting where you are required, I would say, even especially because it's a competition, to be more centered and try to move a little bit less, not being all over the place, just be in one place and focus on what you're trying to say, on what you're trying to interpret. So a concert version, I think, would basically be present, do what you have to do without you just doing everything at the same time.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Now, let's say, because we're dealing with solos now, you are giving a copy to this child and say, you need to learn this music. What is the first step to take when you receive that piece of music?
For me, I think it's very important to read the words. Why? Clever composers, when they compose, they follow the speech rhythm. So if you identify, for example, the strong syllables, the weak syllables in a word, like for instance, andante. So the stress is on the second syllable.
Okay.
So obviously, when the composer composes the music, they will make the second note longer than the first one because they are following the speech rhythm. So by doing so, you'll never go wrong in terms of the speech rhythm. Even with the phrase, the composer, they will follow the phrase when they compose. So if a singer or a young musician, if they start by speaking the language, and also it helps them to become fluent in terms of the pronunciation. Way before you sing the notes, it's very important to speak the text and also translate it. Translate it to your own language. It's very important. If you are a Xhosa like myself, translate it to Xhosa and then to English, not the other way around, because you're going to lose the meaning along the way if you do that. And you connect easy when you translate it to your language. If you remember at the university in Cape Town,
Yes,
University
yes.
of Cape Town, in our first years, when we're doing the diploma in opera, our mentor, Angelo Gobato, used to emphasize that start with the text, speak it, translate it, and then the rest will come naturally. Believe me.
Yeah.
Mr. Qave, in this piece, because we're still talking about the soprano piece,
Yes. Yes.
in Baroque, there's ABA form. Can you, Mr. Fubesi spoke about it,
Yeah.
but can you also try and elaborate a little bit about it? Because it's a very crucial part of this style of singing.
Yeah. On that one, it's quite in simple terms, it's a simple ABA. Yeah, ABA. It's quite a simple format, but also with that contains so much variety though in that, because with those three sections that are pretty much the similar, you would say it's two, because you have A, and then you have the C, the
Going
A
back
again
to the
on the other
beginning,
side.
yes.
Yeah, so you would think you are pretty much saying the same thing, but traditionally, of course, it's written to be traditionally. It has to come back with more variety, and so you want to make more of the point that you've made on the A to be more, to be more emphasized. So the way I understand it, because it's the same text usually and the same music, then you want to make it even more strong in your point. And then of course the B is a part where I call it reflection.
Yes.
Because you will go and then the middle is usually more somber and with more long lines and slower to go back to your point again to the A.
Okay.
So I would say that if you are looking at that, I would probably start with the B, weirdly enough, in order for to have enough time to do to work on the piece. So the A is pretty much you follow with the way it's written on the first one to introduce to what you're about to emphasize on the
Yes.
for the third time, for the second time rather, on the other one.
Guys at home, please take notes, because this is so rich. My guests here, they've performed in Europe. They have studied in Europe. They've performed in Europe stages, even locally. And the most beautiful thing about them, they are giving back to our communities. Now we're going to move to the tenor solo. Mr. Fubesi, Matinata. Can you please take us through this Neapolitan song?
It's one of the beautiful pieces that Leon Cavallo has ever performed. And it was recorded by the great tenors like Enrico Caruso, Luciano Pavarotti, who is my favorite, even now. I mean, so it became one of the important pieces in the repertoire of opera. So it's a beautiful piece, beautiful text. It talks about the beauty of the morning, and also the lyrics are showing off the spirit of being of human voice, basically. So I loved what I saw earlier with the young tenors. I don't want to lie. I was worried when I saw that it was prescribed, but I like the approach.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. So it's poetic as well. Very poetic, typical Italian character. So that's what you have to incorporate when you dealing with this kind of repertoire.
Mr. Qave,
Yeah.
we're almost halfway.
Yeah.
What do you think of the tenors and generally all the solo category performers? What do you think of them?
It's so impressive to hear such young singers singing the way they actually do. And I must say, with all of them, they seem to have done at least the minimum, which is to try to understand what you're trying to say, try to say the text the way they're supposed to be said, and you can hear, especially on the tenors, that they really love to do this. They really love to sing the song, which actually makes the standards a little bit higher, because none of them seem to be any nervous. They just coming in. They actually cannot wait to get on stage and do it. And the sopranos as well are quite incredible. So I think we really have a great treat today. Yeah.
Guys, you are doing a great job. I can see that messages are coming through. You are viewing. That's beautiful. We appreciate that as a team. Let's quickly wrap up the credo, the mixed choir section, the credo, and his yoke is easy.
Yeah.
Mr. Fubesi.
Let me comment about Credo. Credo is a beautiful piece by Mozart. Again, when the conductors, when they are dealing with this piece, I encourage them to not to be too heavy. Credo basically means I believe. There's also sense of celebration, more especially when you sing it towards the end. So what I've noticed, they become heavy, too heavy at the beginning. And again, this music is suitable for young people, and you'll never go wrong with Mozart music. So when you're dealing with young voices, avoid being too heavy. More especially if the music allows you to be more celebratory and more happy, you know. So it's a beautiful piece again. Thank you.
Mr. Qave, your thoughts?
Unfortunately, I haven't seen any choir that sang His Yoke is Easy.
And I think there was actually two.
Yeah, I saw the two choirs before,
Two choirs,
the Western
yeah.
Cape. Yeah, they did well, even though that duet was throwing them, Death, it was throwing them off a bit. Again, it's not a heavy piece. It's not a heavy piece. A typical handle. So they have to approach it with the lighter way. There are tricky passages in terms of the melodies and the way the music is structured. So it is very important for the soloists to listen to the orchestra as well, so that they can keep the beat. But otherwise, they did very well.
Yeah.
Talking about orchestra, guys, the orchestra is really good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
must say, the
Yeah.
orchestra is really good. In fact, the standard, even the singers, they are really good. You
Yeah.
know, we are
absolutely.
heading to the right direction. Whoever that is training these choirs, you guys are doing a great job.
they are.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate this. We're about to go back now. The orchestra is tuning in. Please, guys, stay tuned. We really need you. Keep those comments coming in. And it's going to get very interesting now. This is the last 3-4 choirs in all those sections. And tomorrow, don't forget, for the first time ever, Champ of Champs. It will be happening.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.